What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Aaron here. It is Wednesday the 30th of July, and guess what we're talking about today? That's right, guys. We're talking all things Ethereum today. We're talking all things Solana. We're talking all things Zora. Guys, we're talking all things Abstract Chain. We're talking all things Coinbase, guys. We've got a lot coming up today on this show. Bring it on. Let's get into the market and see what's happened over the last 24 hours. And as you can see here, guys, it's been pretty negative last 24 hours when it comes to total market cap. The whole market cap of the whole industry is down by 5.2% on the daily, guys, which is a pretty significant drop if you ask me. 5% or $4 trillion. I mean, I'd be very happy with that in my bank account, wouldn't you? But look, guys, as you can see here, look, BNB is down by 4.6%. Pretty big drop for a coin of that size. Solana also down 3.6%. Dogecoin, Tron, Cardano also down around 4.5 to 5% here, guys. So what is causing the anxiety in the market? Are these dips that we should be buying? And at the end of the day, are these jitters based on the White House report that's due to come out later today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time? Is it something to do with that? Well, a White House official came out earlier today and said that it's more to do, the announcement to do with regulatory framework instead of Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Report, as it was rumored yesterday. But look, guys, let's see what comes out of there. Now, obviously, most of the stuff since Trump's administration in digital assets has been very, very bullish so far. So I'm personally not very concerned in that, guys. As I said to you on a previous video, these dips are for buying, guys. We are in a major bull cycle, and I believe that, especially when it comes to altcoins, we're right at the beginning of that. So these dips, let's take them with glee. Let's not catch falling knives, guys. Let's make sure that we dollar cost average in and do our thing. Now, look, let's get into the news, guys. The first news I want to cover today is something that literally just came out an hour or two ago. I caught it when I was doing my research before I started the video today, guys. And that is that JP Morgan and Coinbase have struck a deal to link bank accounts and crypto wallets. Can you believe that, guys? If you're old enough to remember Jamie Dimon, one of the head honchos at JP Morgan, in 2017, he was the biggest bear of all time when it came to crypto. Okay, it almost became like a meme. He was so bearish, guys. And this headline here is like stuff of dreams. Okay, like if you showed Jamie Dimon this in 2017, he would have got security to kick you out or wherever you are. Okay, over his dead body would have literally been his words. Now, let me actually tell you what this actually means. Okay, so as you can see here, JP Morgan and Chase, by the way, the JP Morgan and Chase, the US largest bank by assets held. Okay, so it's not just any JP Morgan and Chase here, signed an agreement to directly link customers' bank accounts to their cryptocurrency wallets, according to a Wednesday statement, as banks and financial technology companies increasingly clash over who has access to consumer data and at what cost, guys. That is huge. Okay, so I mean, why is this huge? I mean, do you even need to tell me why this is huge? It's distribution at scale. Okay, JP Morgan has 66 million customers. Okay, 66 million customers, nearly the size of a major country. And they're all going to have seamless crypto access. Okay, so like, and not only are they going to get that access, they're going to have that access through their banking app. So this is obviously incredible, guys. Coinbase once again win big. And to be fair to Coinbase, they're doing a lot for the industry right now. They're doing a lot for major mass retail and institutional onboarding. So insane, guys. And imagine the competitive pressure now that's going to be onto other banks as well to follow suit, because they're going to get left behind if everyone is, basically piling into crypto and being able to trade crypto and invest in crypto through their JP Morgan banking app. Well, why am I suddenly going to be banking anywhere else, especially when you see the outsized gains that you can make there? And of course, with Bitcoin, the hardest money, hardest investment in the world, who wouldn't want to be investing in that directly through their banking app? So this is obviously huge news, guys, that's just come out, like I said, a couple of hours ago. If we go further down the page here, there's a little bit more information. In addition to linking bank accounts, customers will be able to fund Coinbase accounts with their Chase credit cards for the first time, an option expected to be active this fall, the firm said in the statement. They will also be able to redeem Chase reward points to fund their crypto wallets. Damn, I'm so jealous, guys. If you're like me and you love points programs, you like airline points, you like hotel points, you're stacking them up and you always want to convert them into different moments and prizes, then me and you are the same.
Afternoon, my octoroon. Come on, bring it in there.
But imagine being able to actually convert that to fund my crypto wallet. Imagine if I could convert my Emirates points or Marriott points or whatever into crypto, man, I would be so buzzed. I mean, I'd be rich.
If you weren't already rich.
The amount I travel and stay in hotels and stuff. But no, seriously, guys, this is obviously huge news. And also, you know what? There's so much institutional news in crypto now. It's just crazy. Like, I remember like 5-6 years ago, I was in crypto. Like, all this news that's coming out almost every day would have felt like a Christmas. And now it's like Christmas every single day in crypto. Next up, eToro plans to launch tokenized US stocks on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so again, major bull institutional news here. So eToro says it plans to launch tokenized US stocks on the Ethereum blockchain, according to a Tuesday announcement. And obviously, this is a huge win that they've chosen Ethereum for Ethereum, obviously to do this. And yeah, as you can see here, Yoni Assia, who's been the CEO of eToro for as long as I can remember, a very long time, is expanding its current 24/5 trading offering to include an initial list of 100 of the most popular US listed stocks and ETFs via the Ethereum blockchain, guys. So look, that's pretty amazing, guys. You're going to be able to obviously get out of your crypto, get into a stock, get out of your stock, get into a crypto, all within the same app, all very, very, very smoothly. And this is obviously extremely bullish news, not only for the whole crypto market, but of course for Ethereum in general. Look, guys, it's raining for me outside. It has been raining pretty much this whole week, but somebody told me it is summer right now. And do you know what? Look at these Google Trends I just noticed here. Like, stablecoins is like literally at an all-time high, like for interest over time, for a search term, which is, you know what? I never thought I would ask for a stablecoin summer, but hey, we're in a stablecoin summer right now, guys. So yeah, look at that search terms going through the roof. And look, at the end of the day, stablecoins, especially, regulatory, approved stablecoins, they just make sense. I mean, we just need them. We need to finally get rid of this, ridiculously slow, financial blooming ecosystem that we use in the non-crypto world. It's just ridiculous how long things take and so expensive as well, right? And so actually, yesterday we spoke about PayPal, right? We spoke about PayPal, now actually integrating all of the different 100 plus cryptocurrencies, right? It's going to be 90% cheaper. And it's like, yeah, obviously, we could have told you that 7-8 years ago. But think about it, guys. I've been thinking about this a bit more. If PayPal are doing this, all those other admittance services or payment services that are, not PayPal are going to be sat there going, sugar. What are we going to do? Well, we have to do the same thing. Otherwise, why would anyone really use our product if we're 90% more expensive? The fact that PayPal have actually done that, like, the biggest, whatever you want to call it, money remittance, platform, payment platform, digital payment platform, now integrating 100 plus cryptocurrencies just means the rest of them have to catch up, or they're just going to get disrupted and die. Let's be honest. So look, guys, stablecoin summer is in. PayPal, Coinbase, we got Chase Bank here. Oh, so bullish news, guys. So awesome way to start the day. Let's get into a bit more degen style news. So look, Zora here. I don't know if you guys have used Zora yet, but Zora's monthly revenue here surpassed $2 million. Look at that. If you actually look at all of its previous months, and Zora's been around for a while, as you can see here, they've never really surpassed, what's that, like 7, 8, maybe 800K? And this month, they've flown to $2 million, guys. So we're going to be talking more about Zora. What is Zora? What is causing all this hype? And to give you basically an insight into what is actually blowing up right now. And obviously, this is in the base ecosystem. So as you can see here, guys, based Zora created more tokens than Solana-based token launchpads for 6 consecutive days. Okay, so this is getting like huge hype, huge levels of adoption here. And this, by the way, all these Solana-based launchpads. This includes, you can see on the right-hand side here, some big major launchpad. We're talking about Pump Fun. Okay. We're talking about Moonshot, we're talking about Believe App, we're talking about Bonk. Like, really, Zora's gone absolutely psycho, okay? And what even is it, guys? Let me tell you and break you down exactly what Zora is if you haven't used it already. Okay, so Blockworks here does a really good job explaining what Zora actually is. Let's get into the article. So Zora is up trading 227% up in 1 week, and its mobile app is climbing the ranks on the iOS App Store. Okay, so Coinbase actually recently rebranded their wallet app. Okay, and that's where most of their new tokens basically are coming from. This base app. Okay, so nearly 40,000 tokens were created yesterday. It says here, there's a nice little chart there for new posts. So basically, how does this work, and why should you care about it? Well, but basically, it's pump fun with a social network, or think Instagram, but tokenized into oblivion. Okay, so roughly how this works is you're a social media influencer and you post cool stuff on Zora. Each of your posts, every single one of your posts is tokenized into an ERC20 token with a 1 billion supply. As you can see here, you receive 1% of each of those posts, 10 million. Now, if you think about how much people post, like doing 1%, doing a token for every single post, obviously it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of pollution when it comes to tokens there, but stay with me, guys, okay? So these trades are paired against your creator coin. Okay, so let's imagine that I have an Erhan K official creator coin, and basically every post that I have, like the trading pair is Erhan K official, and post 1, post 2, post 3, post 4, post 5. And basically, when you sign up to Zora, your username is the ticker, and every creator coin also has a 1 billion supply, 50% of it, which is immediately tradable, okay? And then the other half vests linearly to you over 5 years. And so, yeah, basically you obviously accumulate the fees, guys. Okay, so you earn 1% cut of the trading fee paid in Zora. Okay, and obviously if your post goes viral, then obviously you'll get more trading fees, which means you'll make more money. And now look, guys, we've seen these content coins before. Lots of them are, as Blockworks call them, a fad. They're here for a couple of days or weeks and then they disappear again and you never hear of them again. But Zora, Zora has been around for a long time and has now, gaining traction, where I guess others may have given up by now, to be honest, considering how long they've been around. And so, look, as you can see here, the Zora trading volume coming from creator coins is $33 million yesterday. So that's a large amount of volume, guys, coming from creator coins here. And they gave a really good example here. So, if you talk about Jacob, so Jacob is the creator coin of Zora's co-founder, Jacob Horn, okay? And it's the second largest creator coin, $6.2 million in market cap today. Now, if you think about it, and I know this because some of my friends are quite big social media influencers outside of crypto, they don't even make that much money, maybe like $100 to $500 a post, like they say here, or, they get like free hotel stays and things like that. But, nothing really compared to how much you might think they might be earning. Okay. But with how Zora works, they've basically got a linear vesting rate of 500 million tokens over 5 years. And so that's, as you can see here, 273,000 tokens a day. And based on Jacob's market cap, 6.2 million, which admittedly is quite high, but of course, that's where we are now in the market. If these content creator coins take off, then of course maybe that would seem quite low. Well, that would actually be nearly $3,400 a day at a $6.2 million market cap. Now, again, as you can see here, as you compare to an Instagram post, $100 to $500 for a sponsored post, you can see like why creators would be interested in this, right? Now, what do you think about this, guys? Like, is this interesting to you? Have you checked out the Zora app? Let us know in the comments below, guys. Are you making money on it already? Like I said, it is available. You can go into Base's new wallet app and check it out on your mobile. Now, Carl Samani here is a very prominent VC, okay, Multicoin Capital, early, one of the major backers in Solana. And since then, I mean, what else do they need to do? I mean, they've literally backed Solana, but they've backed some of the best projects in the industry. And he's saying the biggest problem with content coins is liquidity fragmentation. So creator coins might work, but I think there's too many content coins per creator, which means even creators don't have motivation to direct attention intelligently, which I do agree with him, right? I mean, every single post being a new coin, it's just like tiring to how do you keep up on that many coins? How do you ensure that every single coin or post of yours like still has volume or still has legs, because not every post, some posts can be relevant for like that very moment, like a time sensitive post which goes, which does well, but then after that, there's gonna be so many of these dead tokens around. It's gonna be a graveyard, isn't it? So yeah, I'm not 100% sure either on the model. I kind of agree with Kyle here. Now Jacob, obviously the main man behind Zora, responded and said that's why we pair all of the posts in the creator coin to aggregate all of their content. And look, as you can see here, guys, there's like a graph here, a diagram of exactly how this works. So the more posts means more opportunity. Obviously, it means more attention, and that attention, basically it's the flywheel of how it goes back to the creator coin, post paired in the creator coin, and etc. It's actually a pretty basic diagram. Let's be honest, there's nothing that fascinating there. But look, guys, it has been doing extremely well right now, Zora. So yeah, why don't you check it out, guys? Obviously, this is a new trend right now. Look, do I think it's going to last? Do I think it's going to last? Probably not. But at the same time, who's to say it won't? Like, it definitely, I mean, it could if large creators jump over to Zora because they see the massive money being made there. Like, let's not completely write it off. Of course, Web 2 based social media apps like Instagram, Facebook, they need to be disrupted. Like, I mean, they really need to be disrupted as soon as possible because we're the product. Right, we're the ones selling our data, and basically to all advertisers, and we're getting paid zilch for it for all the content we do. So there definitely needs to be a breakthrough, social Web3 social app. And obviously we have Farcaster and a few others, but look, I do like the creativity of this. I do like in general the tokenization, of course, of social. So look, I'll be keeping an eye on Zora, guys. Check it out. Obviously, it's got mad traction at the moment, and we're going to move on to the next story. So the next story we have, as I said at the start of the video, is that Ethereum is 10 years old today. 10 years old Ethereum. Let's go. Happy birthday to Ethereum, guys. I should have bought a cake with me. The thing is, when I have cakes, they just don't last. Like, I buy somebody a cake and I eat it before I give it to them. It's a really bad habit of mine.
You're a sadist.
But look, in general, guys, it's a 10-year anniversary of Ethereum, and then you can actually mint a commemorative Ethereum 10-year NFT if you want to do so. I'm not aware of any specific utility of that. It's just a nice thing to have. You were there kind of moment, and of course, it's a historic kind of like card, isn't it? On-chain card to show that you were there celebrating the 10 years of Ethereum. And so yeah, look, and actually speaking of Ethereum, let's stick with Ethereum because we've actually found a really cool project on Ethereum. It's getting a lot of mindshare at the moment, and it's not your usual Ethereum project. Okay, it's actually called Ethereum OS, which they're actually abbreviating it into EOS. And I was like, hang on a minute, I've seen that ticker before. EOS obviously was the failed project, by Brock Pierce and his team. Raised one of the biggest raise amount in ICO days and delivered nothing. Like, it was crazy. Like, they literally raised, I think it was in the hundreds of millions, guys. EOS raised and came to nothing in the end back in 2017, 2018. But anyways, ETH OS, got this kind of cool like iPhone kind of vibe going on there with ETH OS. Happy to celebrate the completion of our Epoch 0. Today we're starting the next one, more info ahead. But anyways, basically, what is ETH OS and why am I talking about epochs before I've even told you what it is? What a numpty. Well, look, let's get into it. So ETH OS is DeFi's largest gamified experiment. I like this because it's really creative, okay, and it's on ETH, which is like more mature these days, right? All the fun is happening on other chains, I would say, all the degeneracy. But looks like ETH OS is trying to bring degeneracy back to Ethereum, and I like that because I get nostalgic. Right? But look, basically, welcome to Ethereum's operating system, the first of its kind, revenue-generating pumpware. We all like pumpware technology built as a social DeFi sandbox that's filled with composable elements you can create, trade, communicate, and participate all in one place. Look, guys, I know there's a lot of buzzwords there, so bear with me. But like, let's just go through this together. So they've built ETH OS as a recursive flywheel of 7 composable mechanics spinning it under the user's creativity, powered by ETH rewards, fueled by APY. Fueled by APY sticks out to me, right? Yeah. Seasoned with deflation sounds good, and served under a strong social UX that helps it to thrive. As you can see here, they've got a really cool, front end. As you can see, they've got this kind of like retro vibe going on, Game Boy kind of style. But look, let's start with the genesis. EOS. Oh, that's the EOS. For those that are old enough to know what EOS is, if you're not old enough in crypto, you're lucky. The main token of the ETH OS ecosystem represents your platform ownership, allowing you to earn pure ETH from trading volume across all tokens created. So basically, the more EOS that you hold, obviously, the more trading volume percentage, tokens that you're basically going to receive in ETH. EOS functionality includes zero tax, volume-based reflections, share increasing APY, and utility burn. And you don't need to stake it or lock it to benefit from the entire ecosystem we've built. And of course, we talk about Black Hole DEX all the time on this channel, guys, in which we're earning fees. Thank you. But that is because we are burning and locking up our tokens. Let's be honest. On here, you don't even need to do that. So that's quite interesting. Going further down here, guys, it tells us a little bit more about what's going on. I want to quickly run through this, but you can promote the tokens you like by burning EOS. Okay, so there's a burning deflation mechanism. When doing so, you receive a one-on-one boost, a non-transferable internal token that is used as an additional APY for your EOS farming. This mechanic rewards the community to participate in the ecosystem and tokens growth. Now, guys, I'm not just talking about this project for no reason, okay? If we actually head over to DEX Tools here, this project has flown almost overnight, okay? Oh, there we go, it's updating for us live. Look, if we look at, where are we now? I'm at 10 p.m. where I am. If we go back like a day, the price was, it's basically done a huge multiple since then, basically like a 10x overnight. Okay, well, so you can see 686% in the last 24 hours. So this has flown, guys. And if you look at the market cap, it's actually still early, $2.5 million market cap. Now, why are people going so crazy over what this is? Well, I'll tell you why. Because right now you can earn in an airdrop very comfortably $1,600. Okay, let me tell you how. So if we head over back to where were we? ETH OS. This is actually the website. Look how cool this website is. Farm airdrop codes, chat. There's basically different ways to earn codes, and those codes actually give you rewards in air. So you can participate in our gamified airdrop that's going to start soon. Enjoy farming air and saying GM for daily rewards. At first, I thought that was really corny, but actually, or cheesy as we say. But actually, if you earn money from saying it, then okay. We'll take the cheese. We still have so much to share with you, but for now, this is the end of the article. Okay, so let's quickly head over to here. Okay, here we go. So early visionaries win. Oh no, here we go. So you can become an early visionary. Okay, so this is how easy it is to get codes. Codes are stackable. Okay, that's a key thing. Codes are stackable. So you can actually make a lot of money here. More codes, more air. Okay, so if you like 4 posts on X, you get 1 code. That's 0.25. Okay, 0.5, you can retweet or comment. And if you want to really go for it, you can create your own post. Especially if it's a thread, you do really well. And you can get 2 codes. Okay, and basically every epoch, I think they said there was 11 epochs, and there's a 3-day cooldown. Okay, in between each one. But basically, every epoch, the earlier you do this, basically the more your engagement is going to matter. So you're going to get more codes. And obviously, those codes translate into air. And so how does this actually play out? So if you're early, you get 2x rewards. So 200,000 air for each code. But if you're late, you get 0.5x rewards. So 50,000 air per code. So you can see, obviously, the later you get on in the epochs, guys, as you can see, 11 epochs, each lasting 3 days, then you basically get less. So obviously, it's incentivizing for us to get in as early as we possibly can, and I think they're already going into their second epoch now. Okay, so you can claim your rewards before the epoch ends and farm new ones with a higher APY, and obviously get as many codes as you possibly can, and you're going to get really high rewards. And look, 1 code at the moment is $1,664. Okay, and that is a $2.5 million market cap. So yeah, I mean it's still a low market cap, right? Let's say this project does a 10x, which it could easily do. 25 million is still low. For a DeFi, I mean, Black Hole's, 130 million, that's undervalued based on the TVL on the platform. So potential bear case, it does a 10x if it takes off. That's 16 grand. Okay, so I'm telling you this, guys, because it's really easy to get, to basically get involved in this and get codes. And, there's money on the table waiting for you there. So like, yeah, here's the website, guys, a little bit more information there. You can do it yourself. If you want to say, hey, if you want to say GM, you do it in this chat here. Okay. So you see GM. So yeah, GM stands for good morning, obviously. For those of you that, have lived literally in a cave for the last 10 years. But look, as you can see here, there's some good memes and stuff. But look, check it out, guys. I thought it was really interesting what Ethos Vision or ETH OS is building, or EOS is building, guys. And look, who doesn't love some degeneracy on Ethereum, especially on their 10th anniversary? So look, get involved, go check out what they're building. There's some more tweets here that I actually highlighted, but let's actually move on to Solana. Okay, guys. So Solana, they're actually launching the first handheld gaming device. Okay, and you can actually pre-order the PSG1 now. Okay, so look, let's be honest, Solana not the first layer one to do this. Obviously, we had the Sui 0x Play 1, which I spoke about in my interview with Christian Thompson of Miston Labs at Istanbul Blockchain Week, and he actually told me that they're completely sold out and they might not even be making any more. This is obviously super exciting as well. Of course, this is on Solana, and of course, they have the pudgies, which are absolutely everywhere right now in their PFP, and they also posted a special teaser here tomorrow, 5 p.m. UTC. Who is ready? Look, it's kind of like again retro style gaming device. I almost feel like I remember playing Game Boy, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow, and I remember that stuff. They're playing really, really kind of pixelated games. So look, guys, if you're interested, you can actually pre-order the PSG1 right now. Okay, so you just go to playsolana.com. There's more information there about the functionality. I love consumer products, especially consumer products for the masses that onboard more to Web3. So awesome. I'm probably going to order one myself. Okay, I'm actually missed out on the Sui Play OX1, and I'm kind of pissed. So I'm going to buy one of these. I love gaming, and let's stick to gaming. Let's finish off the video with gaming, okay? Because I've been thinking about this whole Pudgy thing, about the whole Pengu thing. I've been thinking about the whole Luca thing, about how everything's blowing up in the kind of Pengu, Pudgy ecosystem. I'm like, hang on a minute. Surely this is going to spill over into the abstract chain ecosystem, because the abstract chain ecosystem, okay, yeah, they're different teams, but it's all kind of under one organization. I don't know what is the right word. Luca is the head of all of it. Let's be honest, okay. And Luca Nets obviously is the CEO of Pudgy Penguins. Now, what we're actually seeing on there, and I like the idea of the NFT ecosystem and gaming specifically on abstract chain. Okay, so for example, there's 3 projects that I wanted to highlight just at the end of this video, because the gaming revolution on abstract chain is actually happening based on real figures, real revenues, real gamers buying the NFTs as it's supposed to be, and not just speculation. It's actually people buying the NFTs and using it in a game, like as it should have been from the beginning. So firstly, we have Gigaverse. Okay, so Gigaverse is the revenue king, is what we're calling it. The #1 NFT project right now on abstract chain. Okay, 73,000 daily active users with 70% retention rate, 300 new players joining every single day, $8.4 million of annual trading volume, $6 million of annual revenue. But I do think that like I said, the energy, the traction, the momentum, the leverage that Luca is building right now with Pudgy and Pengu is definitely going to spill over into abstract chain, because he can obviously utilize his like I said, his leverage, his reputation, his power to blow up the chain, basically, in a positive way. And next up, we've got on-chain heroes here. So this is really based on token utility. So there's been 6.2 million hero tokens spent in daily burn mechanics, 3,000 ETH historical trading volume, nearly 85 grand worth of NFTs burned by major holders, reducing the supply. It's doing fantastic. And then finally, we've got Frankie the Frog. Sorry, Frankie the Frog, the multi-game platform. Again, 2 games already launched with a 3rd in development. Okay, 60 on-chain achievements with integrated reward systems, meme coin reward distribution. And look, why is this gaming wave different? Okay, because it's revenue first. Games with revenue, with real users, people buying NFTs to use them in the game, as it should have been from the beginning, is finally happening. Okay, unlike previous cycles. Then you've got institutional validation as well. So YGG partnered with Gigaverse. Okay, that signals serious institution gaming capital entering the space. YGG, OG gaming, real deal games. And let's not forget, guys, abstract chain have got more than 75,000 daily active users on chain right now. Okay, they've got huge retention rates. And look, isn't this what Web3 gaming was always supposed to be? Real gamers, real revenue, sustainable economies happening on abstract chain. Looking over at abstract chain, we'll see what's going on there, is going to be valuable, especially this early, I'd say, in the altcoin cycle. All right, guys, look, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much for joining me once again for your daily dose of crypto. And let's not forget, okay, it is the final epoch time at 12 UTC for you to get in your votes. Get in your votes on Black Hole DEX, guys, and make some money if you're lucky holders of VE Black, guys. Remember, if you are voting on your Black Hole DEX pools, remember, just because they've got the highest rewards doesn't mean you're going to get the highest payouts, guys. Make sure you're comparing the amount of votes on the pool versus the rewards, okay? Because you don't want to be super diluted and end up with not many rewards, okay? So vote strategically, hold it down, and only vote around just over an hour until the end of the epoch, guys, and make sure you do it before the previous hour. Otherwise, you might not be able to vote at all, and that would suck, okay? So look, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again back here tomorrow.